All right, so a budget line shows us the constraint for our resources that we have available. That's the cost end of trying to make a decision. Now what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the benefit side of making a decision. And remember, with individuals, we get benefits and call them utility. So the satisfaction that we get from consuming products, that is our benefit, okay? And we call it utility. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this a lot throughout the semester. We're going to compare between two products. We're going to do it both for individuals and also for firms. And the reason we're comparing between two products, so just so you can get an idea of what you're seeing here, this is product X and product Y. And these are quantities that we might consume. So an individual could consume 0 units of product X, or they could consume 1 unit or 2 units. You could think of this as the pizza example, right? How much utility will be gotten by consuming 0 slices of pizza or 1 or 2, 3 or 4 slices of pizza, okay? But we're going to compare the pizza now to another product. Let's say that this product over here is hot wings. So we're comparing between pizza and hot wings. So when we go to the party, now we're going to make the party a little more complicated. You have a choice. It's not just pizza. You have a choice between eating pizza or hot wings, or you can have a little bit of both. You can have a slice of pizza and 3 hot wings, or you can have 3 slices of pizza and no hot wings. It's your choice. And the reason that we compare one product to another product is when we make a decision, we're picking something to have, and then we're picking something to not have. So when you go to the store to buy something and you have a choice of 2 things to buy, you're going, well, I'm either going to buy this one or I'm going to buy this one or the other, right? When you pick one to buy, that means that you're choosing not to buy the other one. And so you're making a comparison between 2 things. Well, we can't make a comparison if we're only looking at one product. We want to make a comparison between 2 products. And what we're going to do here is we're going to get an idea of how we can choose. We can choose a little bit of both of something if we want to. We can say, yeah, I'll have 2 slices of pizza and 1 chicken wing. And this this table right here, what I've done is I've given you a breakdown of how much satisfaction a person might get out of pizza or wings. And it doesn't have to be pizza or wings. It can be any 2 products. We're calling them product X and product Y. Now, let me explain these columns to you. This is how much of the pizza we're going to consume. This marginal utility, I'm not going to explain that right now. I'm going to do that in lesson, I think it's lesson 5. I'm going to explain marginal utility. But for now, just understand, marginal utility, very simply, is how much incremental utility that you'll get from the first slice of pizza or the second slice of pizza or whatever. This marginal utility represents the benefit that you're getting from consuming something, okay? And then the total utility, this is how much overall utility you get from having multiple units. If we have 1 slice of pizza, that 1 slice of pizza will give us 25 utility. So if we just have the 1, overall we'll have 25 utility. But if we have 3 slices of pizza, because the first one gives 25, the second one gives 25, and the third one gives 25, if we add all 3 of those up, that'll give us 75. So the overall utility or satisfaction for consuming 3 slices of pizza will be 75 units of utility. Okay. Now let's go over here to the chicken wings. There's a big difference over here in the chicken wings than in the pizza. Do you notice that in the pizza, every single slice of pizza gives you the exact same amount of utility? I'm gonna talk about that in just a minute. But over here in the chicken wings, product Y, the more chicken wings you have, the less utility you get from each additional chicken wing. What you're seeing right here is the law of diminishing marginal benefit, just like we explained in a few segments ago. Okay, and here's what I need you to understand, is that here over in the pizza, we do not see the law of diminishing marginal benefit. And I did this on purpose so that I could show you an example of the law of diminishing marginal benefit. In reality, these numbers should be getting smaller. The fact that we have kept them the same means that the law of diminishing marginal benefit is not active in this example. But over here, because the first chicken wing would give you 32 utility, the second chicken wing would give you less utility, 26, the third one would give you 16, and the fourth one gives you 8. That shows that the additional benefit, the marginal additional benefit, is getting smaller and smaller as you consume more chicken wings. Okay? I want to use these tables to explain a concept in microeconomics that's called indifference. Now, I don't know if you know what the word indifferent means, but it basically means that you don't care one way or the other between two things. Okay? So if somebody says, hey, would you rather have Chick-fil-A or would you rather go to Chili's? And you say, I don't care either way. Let's go, whichever one you want to do, that's the one I want to do. That means that you are indifferent between Chick-fil-A and Chili's. Okay? And so this idea of indifference is important because we're choosing between two products. And there are certain circumstances in economics where a person becomes indifferent between two products, okay? But more importantly, it's not indifferent between two products, it's indifference between a mix of products. See, now, when we go to this party, we're not going to choose either pizza or wings. We're going to have a little bit of both. And we want to have a little bit of both because each one of them will give us a certain amount of utility. And if we pick the right mix between pizza and wings, we can get the most utility that we can possibly get. And because what we're trying to do here is maximize utility, this is this is a piece of the puzzle in helping us understand how to maximize utility. So here's what I want to show you. Let's say that this person at the party, they thought maybe that they would have one slice of pizza and 4 chicken wings. So if they have one slice of pizza, the total amount of utility that they will get is 25. If they have 4 chicken wings, they will have the utility, the marginal utility from all 4 of the wings, and if you add those up, that gives you 82. So the question is, how much utility will they get overall if they eat one slice of pizza and 4 wings? And so what we'll do is we'll take the 25 utility from the pizza and the 82 utility from the wings, add them together, and we get 107. Okay? And so now what we want to try and understand is there another mix of these products that would give them the same amount of utility? Can they eat a different number of slices of pizza and a different number of wings? And when you add the total utility of those two things together, you would get exactly 107. Now, if you want to pause the video and try and find those two, then that would be a neat little puzzle. But I'm going to go ahead and show you now. I want you to notice here, if this person decided to have 3 slices of pizza, they would get 75 utility. Oops, 75. And if they were to eat 1 chicken wing, they would get 32 utility. So 75 plus 32. And if you add 75 plus 32, that is also 107. And so here's what I'm telling you, is that they have a choice. This person, they are indifferent between these two choices. If you ask them, let's say you were with a friend, you're like, hey, I'll go get you some pizza and wings. Would you rather have 1 slice of pizza and 4 chicken wings on your plate? Or would you rather have 3 slices of pizza and 1 chicken wing on your plate? So when we get a combination of pizza and wings, we don't care whether we have 1 slice of pizza and 4 wings or 3 slices of pizza and 1 wing. We are indifferent between those two combinations. indifferent between those two choices. And so what I have here for you is an economics, a microeconomics definition of the word indifference. Valuing two or more combinations of products as having equal utility. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at an idea called an indifference line. All right, so we're going to do an example so that you can get an idea of what indifference looks like graphically. Because what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get a graphical understanding of how to maximize utility. So we have both of our products. Instead of only going up to 4 units, we've gone all the way up to 8 units on both of them. Now I want you to notice something interesting about both of these products. They both give the exact same amount of utility for each unit you consume, okay? And so you'll notice that there is no, because the marginal utility is not decreasing, that means we don't have the law of diminishing marginal benefit. This is a very unrealistic example. But if we start with an unrealistic example, we can work our way to a realistic example once we understand the basics of the graph, okay? So here's what I want to do, all right? I want to see how much utility, how much total utility would we get if we consumed none, 0 of product X and all of product Y. So if we consume 8 units of product Y and 0 units of product X, the way we get our total utility is we add up all of the utility we'll get from these plus all of the utility we'll get from these. Well, from 0 units of product X, we're not going to get any utility at all. That's 0. But if we consume 8 units of product Y, we'll get 120 utility. And so 0 plus 120, that is 120. And so now what we want to do is we want to fill in every line on this table. This table is going to help us draw the graph. We want to fill in all the lines, all the combinations of X and Y that will give us 120, okay? Because we want indifference. We want equal utility all the way down. Well, what if we consumed 1 unit of product Y? How much, or of product X? How much utility would we get? We'd get 15. Well, if we want a total of 120, we need a number to add to 15 to get 120. Well, 15 plus another number to equal 120, that other number is 105, because 120 minus 15 is 105. So if we go over to product Y and go into the total utility column, here's 105 down here. In order to get 105 utility, we would have to consume 7 units of product Y. So we're going to put a 7 here. So if we consume 1 unit of X, 7 units of Y, we would get 15 plus 105, that's 120 utility, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing for 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, 5 units, 6 units, 7 units, and 8 units of product X. So X is going up by 1, and we're going to see how much Y we need to equal 120 all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in right now real quick. Okay, so you can see it's very formulaic here. And the reason that it's very formulaic, there's 2 reasons why it was so easy to fill this in. The first one is because both products give 15 utility and the marginal utility is not changing. Every single item on this chart on both product X and product Y give 15 utility. So it makes it very easy to create all of the combinations that equal exactly 120. So we can do 2 of X and 6 of Y, or 5 of X and 3 of Y, all 8 of X and 0 of Y. All of these combinations will give us exactly 120 utility, and therefore all of these combinations of product X and Y are indifferent. If somebody says, hey, would you rather have 7 of X and 1 of Y, or would you rather have 3 of X and 5 of Y? The answer would be, either one is fine with me. I'll take either one, because both of them will give me the exact same amount of satisfaction. And so what we're going to do now is we are going to take this chart and we're going to graph it on a coordinate plane to see what the relationship between x and y looks like, and at every one of these points we're getting the exact same amount of utility, 120. All right, so here we've got a coordinate plane, and I don't have the table. Hopefully you have it in your notes, so you look at the table. I remember it up here, and we're going to go ahead and plot all of the points. The first point was 0x and 8 on y, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the point 0, 8. Actually, I'm going to use a different color here. I'm going to use purple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 0, 8. Then we're going to plot 1 and 7. 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. And then 2, 6. 2, 6 is here. 3, 5. It's right here. 4, 4. 5, 3. 6, 2. 7, 1. And then 8, 0. And these are all the points. These are all of the combinations that would give exactly 120 utility. And so what we can do now is we can connect all the dots into a graph. Okay? So I'm going to put a straight edge here, line it up, and draw a line straight through it. And what you're seeing here, that line is an indifference line. Every single point along this line represents a utility of 120. And so down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write utility equals 120. Okay? And so now we can, just like we were able to graphically draw a line that represents the budget, the costs, right? We now have a line that can represent the utility. What I want to do now is I want to actually create another line based off of the same tables. If you can look back at those tables, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up here another set of x's and y's. And what we're going to go for in this one is we're going to go for a utility, a combined utility of 75. So see, if you want to, you pause the video and see if you can create a table with combinations of x and y that give you precisely all the possibilities that give you a utility of 75. All right, so if you look at the table, we know that if we choose 0 units of product X, that in order to have a utility of 75, we would have to get all 75 utility from product Y, and we know that 5 units of product Y will give us 75 utility. Okay, so one possibility is 0 and 5. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to put a dot right here. That represents a utility of 75. Now, if I want to get 1 unit of X, that's 15. That means I need to get 60 utility from product Y, and that means 4 units of product Y. So we can go to the point 1 and 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right, if I want 2 units of X, that'll give me 30 utility, so I need to get the other 45 utility from product Y, and that's 3 units of product Y. So I can go to 2 and 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, if I want 3 units of product X, that'll give me 45 utility. To get 75, I need 30 more. To get 30 more utility from product Y, that'll take 2 units of product Y. So that's 70. So it's 3 and 2. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. And then if I want 4 units of X, that would give me 60 utility. And so I need 15 more from product Y, which will only take 1 unit. And so I have the point 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And then lastly, if I want to have 5 units of product X, well, that gives me 75 utility. So I don't need any units of product Y. So this will be 0, and I'll have the point 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 0. And now, if I draw a straight line through all those dots, here we go. And that line, this indifference line, represents a utility of 75. And so, here's what I want you to understand. we're now getting a graphical picture. We have two indifference lines on the same coordinate plane. And that's where we're going. We're going to a place where we're going to have 3, 4, or 5 of these on one coordinate plane. Okay? Now here's what I want to explain to you though. What if a person decided to consume 4 units of X and 3 units of product Y? What if they went with 4 of X and 3 of Y? That's here and here, right? So the question is, how much utility would they experience? Well, of course, we can just go to the table that we made and we can figure out exactly how much utility. But what if we didn't have the table? What if all we had were the lines? Well, we can still understand something about this combination of products. Here's the thing. Do you see how that dot falls between? Now, we don't know precisely how far between, but that dot is in between a utility of 120 and 75. So we don't know exactly how much the utility is, but we can say, oh, that person is going to experience utility between 75 and 120. Okay? All right, now the last thing that I want you to see with these indifference lines is I want you to notice a very important idea is as we start here, down here at 0, 0, this is the point of zero utility. And as we move this direction out from the origin, the utility is getting larger and larger. Okay, we know that this dot is utility between 120 and 75. And so that means larger than 75, but smaller than 120. So it's important that you understand when we're doing these indifference lines that the lines that are farther out from the origin all represent higher and higher and higher amounts of utility that this person will achieve when they consume combinations of these products, okay? All right, so where we're going to go now is in the next segment, we're going to take these lines and they're no longer going to stay straight lines. We're actually going to curve them and it's going to become much more like real life.